Overseas threats hit the Ohio city, where Trump and Vance lied about Haitians eating pets. In the U.S., suspicious mail containing white powder sent to election offices in at least 16 states. Russian election interference efforts focus. Overseas threats hit the Ohio city, where Trump and Vance lied about Haitians eating pets. In the U.S., suspicious mail containing white powder sent to election offices in at least 16 states. Russian election interference efforts focus on the Harris and Walz campaign, as fake Kamala hit and run story is the work of Russian propaganda group, Microsoft says. Police say a pair took an NYC subway train on a joyride and crashed it. They have arrested one teen. Starmer's free tickets for Arsenal and Taylor Swift part of job, says Minister. And Keir Starmer's £35,000 in free tickets puts football regulator plans under scrutiny. Trump says he's been too busy to read Melania's forthcoming memoir, in which she attacks the FBI, questions the Secret Service, and defends her nude modeling work.
Chechen warlord Ramzan Kadyrov says Elon Musk remotely disabled his Tesla Cybertruck. With "That's not manly," Chechen warlord claims Elon Musk disabled his Tesla. Putin tells Russians to take work breaks and make babies, and reportedly, Russian offices monitoring childbirth of employees after Vladimir Putin's call. A North Korean trash balloon hits a Seoul government compound, again. South Korean soccer player Son Jun-ho says, Chinese authorities forced match-fixing confession out of him. British policing minister's bag stolen at a police conference in Warwickshire. TIFF, Toronto International Film Festival halts Russians at war documentary screening, after threats to safety.
Musk's Neuralink gets FDA's breakthrough device tag for blind sight implant. Scientists discover third state between living and dying that could redefine death. Scientists discover new evidence Earth may once have had a ring like Saturn.
1 million are now dead or injured in the Russia and Ukraine war. Hezbollah is hit by a wave of exploding pagers that killed at least 9 people and injured thousands, and Hezbollah vows retaliation against Israel for deadly pager explosions. In the U.S., Senate Republicans again block legislation to guarantee women's rights to IVF.
Storm Boris kills 15 as floods continue to ravage Central Europe. Cuba slashes size of daily bread ration as ingredients run thin. The Lancet announced that more than 39 million deaths from antibiotic-resistant infections estimated between 2024 and 2050 suggests first global analysis, as drug-resistant bacteria deaths projected to rise 70% by 2050.
Antarctica's doomsday glacier is set to retreat further and faster, scientists warn. Medieval DNA suggests Columbus didn't trigger syphilis epidemic in Europe. In the US, FTC sues 3 largest drug middlemen for allegedly inflating insulin prices.
Global Vaccine Alliance gave to buy 500,000 doses of mpox vaccine, as Bavarian gets order for 500,000 pox shots for Africa. Rwanda begins vaccinations against monkeypox, amid a call for more doses for Africa. Scientists identify new blood group after a 50-year mystery.
Iranian cyber group, Oil Rig, targets Iraqi government in sophisticated malware attack, and reportedly, charges coming in alleged Iranian hack and leak attack on Trump campaign. New Android malware, Agina, banker, steals financial data and bypasses 2FA via Telegram. A new Vo1D malware infects 1.3 million Android-based TV boxes worldwide. Spotify looks to pay video creators to put shows on platform. Elon Musk calls Australian government fascists over misinformation law. 3 days ago it has been announced as Australia to set minimum age for children using social media. Telegram starts cooperation with French police, claimed by the media.
Chinese chip making shows progress with new EUV patent from domestic lithography champion. Summit supercomputer set to be retired in November 2024. It was the world's most powerful back in 2018 through 19. Google's ad tech empire may be $95 billion and too big to sell, analysts warn Department of Justice. Mr. Beast, Amazon sued by contestants on Beast Games competition show, with allegations including sexual harassment and chronic mistreatment. UEFA warns England could face Euros ban over Sir Keir Starmer's plans for football regulator. The Sims movie from Margot Robbie set to include pools without ladders and other lore.
Sean Diddy Combs arrested after grand jury indictment. Beetlejuice 2 breaks box office records. As it's revealed, the Tim Burton sequel almost went straight to streaming. Bloomberg reports that Disney will introduce 4 new, always-on channels to Disney Plus in late 2024. Hallostream, Hits and Heroes, Throwbacks, and Real Life. Boiler Room partners with Champion to celebrate dance cultures from around the world. Mr. Beast strikes Amazon deal for biggest competition series in TV history. PSG reportedly still owes millions to Kylian Mbappé for unpaid wages and bonuses.
Netflix in talks with BuzzFeed on Hot Ones live show. Bloomberg says Google's free TV channels for Google Android TV to now be called FreePlay. Crunchyroll to stream Dragon Ball Daima anime on October 11th.
Previously unknown Mozart music unearthed in German library. Reportedly, online poker is full of bots, allegedly used by the poker rooms themselves. As Bloomberg reports, the Russian bot army conquered online poker. Netflix co-CEO Greg Peters says, the streamer wants Netflixify the NFL, never say never to other sports rights. Theater owners plan to spend $2.2 billion to modernize and upgrade moviegoing experience. Hallmark unveils 47 holiday films as part of 15th annual countdown to Christmas. Jennifer Lee steps down as Disney Animation's chief creative to make Frozen sequels.
United Airlines says Taylor Swift concerts drove 25% uptick in demand. Metallica extends M72 World Tour with 2025 North American dates with Pantera and Limp Bizkit. In South Africa, Parliament debates replacing TV license with household levy, as battling SABC seeks more state funding and household levy. MPs here.
28 years later, Danny Boyle's new zombie flick was shot on an iPhone 15, The Passion of the Christ, sequel to begin filming in 2025, with Jim Caviezel returning as Jesus. YouTube plans major revamp of TV app after overtaking Netflix streaming rivals. Colorblind people tend to be less picky eaters, new research shows. Study identifies brain regions that are almost twice as large in people living with depression. Low in carb, high in fat diets boost diabetes risk.
Brain implant can now let man control Amazon's Alexa with his thoughts. Scientists use magnetic nanotech to safely rewarm frozen tissues for transplant. Research shows that human children learn to play house and pretend surprisingly early, as we learn to pretend surprisingly early in our lives, study shows.
Online dating caused a rise in U.S. income inequality, research paper shows. Prolonged unemployment is associated with control loss and personal as well as social disengagement. Catching up on sleep on weekends may lower heart disease risk by up to 20%.
Oceanic life found to be thriving thanks to Saharan dust blown from thousands of kilometers away. Scientists call for global action on microplastics, now found in more than 1,300 species. Research predicts rise in tropical hydraulic failure. Powered by renewable energy, microbes turn CO2 into protein and vitamins. Your old school friend's genes could be impacting your health, study finds.
Food fussiness, a largely genetic trait from toddlerhood to adolescence, study suggests, and picky eating is largely genetic and peaks at the age of 7, scientists say. Vegans' intake of protein and essential amino acids is adequate, but ultra-processed products are also needed. In the US, FDA sampling finds milk in 6.2% of dairy-free chocolate products.
Quantum entanglement observed at Large Hadron Collider in historic breakthrough. Black hole blasts largest jet ever seen, at 23 million light-years long. As astronomers discover biggest ever seen black hole jets, which blast hot plasma well beyond their own host galaxy. A landslide in a remote part of Greenland caused a 200-meter, 650-foot, mega tsunami that sloshed back and forth across a fjord for 9 days, generating vibrations throughout Earth according to a new study. Amazon rainforest becomes Earth's largest greenhouse gas emitter.
Exposure to air pollution during pregnancy increases postpartum depression risk for at least 3 years, study finds. Study claims for Afghanistan veterans, anger, not PTSD, is the main problem. High doses of ADHD drugs linked to a greater risk of psychosis.
Obesity drug black market thrives online in South Korea. 1 year ago, it has been reported as nutraceuticals growth in South Korea driven by body fat reduction, healthy aging needs. Reportedly, weight loss drug Wegovy coming to Korea in October 2024. In the UK, ban on junk food ads before 9 p.m. to come into force next year, in bid to tackle childhood obesity. IG Nobel Prize goes to scientists who discovered breathing mammals.
The Guardian reports that far higher pesticide residues allowed on food since Brexit. Half of NHS maternity units slammed by CQC as inadequate or requires improvement. Cambridge Research asks UK government to reduce pint size of drinks as per study, 2/3 measure could boost English health. UNICEF shocked by unimaginable horror of Malaysia mass child abuse. Recently it has been announced by Inspector General of Police as 402 rescued victims from welfare homes are children of GISB, Global Ikhwan Services and business members. More than 260 women sexually assaulted during Congo prison break, UN report shows. Harvey Weinstein indicted again in New York after conviction overturned.
California Governor Gavin Newsom signs AI bills that give performers greater protections and control over their likenesses, limit use of election deepfakes. Google will begin flagging AI-generated images in search later this year, as AI-generated and edited images will soon be labeled in Google search results. Snap's new AI feature lets you create Snapchat lenses by simply describing them.
OpenAI expands o1 AI models to enterprise and education, competing directly with Anthropic. Amazon Ads launches a new AI video generator. China's Alibaba launches over 100 new open-source AI models, releases text-to-video generation tool.
3 Mile Island's nuclear plant to reopen, help power Microsoft's AI centers. UAE's AI firm G42 and Nvidia to team up on climate tech. OpenAI to decide which backers to let into $6.5 billion funding.
In the U.S., cops use AI-generated 14-year-old girl to lure sex criminals. Runway and Lionsgate are partnering to explore the use of AI in film production. OpenAI threatening to ban users for asking Strawberry about its reasoning.
White House extracts voluntary commitments from AI vendors to combat deepfake nudes. Salesforce unleashes an army of artificial intelligence bots with industry's AI.
OpenAI launches new AI model family o1 claiming PhD-level performance. As OpenAI announces a new AI model code-named Strawberry that solves difficult problems step by step. Oracle will use 3 small nuclear reactors to power new 1 gigawatt AI data center. Google's Gemini Live is now free for all Android users.
Meta fed its AI on almost everything you've posted publicly since 2007. Google's AI model faces probe over data use in EU, as Ireland's watchdog launches inquiry into Google's AI data practices in Europe. AI-generated junk science is flooding Google Scholar, study claims.
Apple seeks dismissal of its NSO Group lawsuit, citing risk of exposing vital security information. 2 years ago, Apple sues NSO Group to curb the abuse of state-sponsored spyware. Alternative app stores will be allowed on Apple iPad in the EU from September 16th. Researchers find Apple Vision Pro's eye tracking exposed what users type.
Apple brings activation lock to iPhone parts with iOS 18. Google Wallet will let you make digital IDs with US passports. 3 more state IDs coming. Microsoft eyes new Windows security layer to prevent CrowdStrike repeat.
iPhone 16 won't include stickers in the box. Google tests desktop windowing for Android tablets. Meta to start using public posts on Facebook, Instagram in UK to train AI. United Airlines signs deal with Starlink for free in-flight Wi-Fi.
Unity has canceled its controversial runtime fee. PS5 system update adds Welcome Hub. Party share, personalized 3D audio profiles, adaptive controller charging, and more. Consumer watchdogs call for EU action on in-game digital money.
Temu and SAP refute claims of data breach made on hacker forums. Alibaba cloud servers being carefully dried after firefighter drenching last week, following fire incident in Singapore Availability Zone C data center. Indonesia's go-to use cloud services from Alibaba Cloud in a 5-year deal.
Meta faces hefty EU antitrust fine over classified ads practices. Google wins challenge against $1.66 billion EU antitrust fine. EU picks tech enforcer who helped write its social media rules. 2 days ago, EU tech enforcer and Musk antagonist Thierry Breton quits.
Australian police infiltrate encrypted messaging app Ghost and arrest dozens. RCS texts on the iPhone aren't encrypted now, but that could change. Uber will now verify riders as a safety measure for drivers.
Snap unveils latest AR glasses despite ongoing struggles in core ad business, as Snap's extremely large spectacles bring impressive AR to developers at $99 a month. EssilorLuxottica and Meta announced long-term partnership to collaborate into the next decade to develop multi-generational smart eyewear products. Instagram makes teen accounts private as pressure mounts on the app to protect children.
Intel stock soars late on foundry plans. Amazon AI deal after jumping on $3 billion federal funding. Intel reportedly lost PlayStation 6 chip design contract to AMD in 2022, the $30 billion deal. Apple rolls out iOS 18, iPadOS 18, watchOS 11, tvOS 18, macOS Sequoia and visionOS 2. New Zelda game doesn't have Link as the main playable character. As Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom gameplay leaks online.
Microsoft unveils multiplayer AI collaboration tool for work, trying to overcome Copilot qualms, as Copilot Pages is Microsoft's new collaborative AI playground for businesses. Omnipresent AI cameras will ensure good behavior, says Larry Ellison. China proposes mandatory red flags placed on all AI-generated content posted online.
Cloudflare have found that 20% of all internet connections are abruptly closed before any useful data can be exchanged. Apple leaks new Mac Mini with 5 USB-C ports. Blue Sky reaches 10 million users.
TikTok faces skeptical judges in court fight over looming national ban. Meta bans RT. Days after U.S. accused Russian outlet of disinformation. Amazon tells employees to return to office 5 days a week. Sextortion scams now use your cheating spouse's name as a lure.
Microsoft has scrapped Edge's big UI refresh with rounded tabs. Slack brings agents, purpose-built AI, and CRM data into one work operating system. As Slack now lets users add AI agents from Asana, Cohere, Adobe, Workday, and more. IBM wins $45 million over Zynga Games infringing 2 patents.
Port of Seattle confirmed that Resider ransomware gang was behind the August attack. Ford seeks patent for tech that listens to driver conversations to serve ads. Apple confirms 8 GB RAM in iPhone 16, 16 Plus for Apple Intelligence, gaming.
Sam Altman told OpenAI staff the company's non-profit corporate structure will change next year. Even Facebook couldn't compete with Google, former ad chief says. Aramco Digital and Grok announced progress in building the world's largest inferencing data center in Saudi Arabia.
Twitch introduces new depreciating strike program, and Twitch unveils brand-customized Fortnite game World the Glitch, ahead of TwitchCon. Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos calls on competitors to release viewership numbers. Disney star seeks $940 million in damages from Z for not meeting ICC broadcasting rights payment deadlines.
Snapchat reserves right to put AI-generated images of users' faces in My Selfie ads. The United Nations wants to treat AI with the same urgency as climate change. Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff says he uses ChatGPT as a therapist.
Reuters reports that Google offered to sell part of ad tech business, not enough for EU publishers. YouTube supercharges Shorts with DeepMind's VO AI, with custom backgrounds, easy 6-second clips. Tumblr reports 350% user growth, following excess ban in Brazil.
Hackers exploit default credentials in foundation software to breach construction firms. New Brazilian-linked Samba spy malware targets Italian users via phishing emails. Team TNT hackers attacking VPS servers running CentOS. Skywatcher and satellite tracker photographs U.S. Air Force's secret space plane in orbit. Second-generation Starlink satellites leak 30 times more radio interference, threatening astronomical observations, as Musk satellites are making it harder to study black holes. Comet of the century to light up the sky in October 2024.
Wall Street Journal reports that Qualcomm approached Intel about a takeover in recent days. Apple's A16 chips now being manufactured in Arizona TSMC plant. Google Password Manager lets you store and sync your passkeys across Windows, macOS, Linux, and Android. Older Windows PCs can no longer play some DRM-protected content.
Zack Snyder reveals first look at Netflix's Rebel Moon video game, Bloodline. Flappy Bird's original creator says he has nothing to do with the new game, as Flappy Bird is back, relaunched on Telegram. Amazon joins Motion Picture Association, as entertainment and tech converge.
NASA's Hidden Figures awarded Congressional Gold Medal for groundbreaking work. Space Perspective completes major uncrewed test flight of Neptune 2 years ago. Space Perspective unveils balloon-like spaceship for outer space tourism. Microsoft's struggling military AR headset gets boost from Oculus founder's latest venture. As Enduro collaborates with Microsoft to bring Lattice to the U.S. Army's IVAS program.
Perplexity partners with Nike, Marriott on AI ads to challenge Google. Axios reports that half of U.S. states seek to crack down on AI in elections. Governor Newsom signs landmark bill to protect kids from social media addiction. Bans companies from sending notifications to users identified as minors between midnight and 6 a.m. or during the school day, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. unless parents give the okay.
UK risks falling behind in AI race if it does not invest in more data centers, says Google. Reuters reports that US to propose ban on Chinese software, hardware in connected vehicles. Hyundai electric vehicles to add North American charging standard.
Apple's former design maestro Johnny Ive confirms he's joined forces with OpenAI's Sam Altman for a new AI hardware project. X is reportedly now complying with orders from Brazil's Supreme Court. Chip giants TSMC and Samsung discuss building Middle Eastern megafactories. Massive China state IoT botnet. Raptor train went undetected for 4 years, and Chinese spies built massive botnet of IoT devices to target U.S., Taiwan military. In the U.S., Justice Department disrupts vast Chinese hacking operation, Flax Typhoon, that infected consumer devices. Microsoft warns of new Inc. ransomware targeting U.S. healthcare sector.
Kabam to shut down Disney Mirrorverse, after making $34 million in mobile revenue. Palworld maker vows to fight Nintendo lawsuit on behalf of fans and indie developers. 1 day ago, Nintendo sues Pokémon with Guns video game firm. Sabrina Carpenter announces Netflix holiday special. Microsoft releases a new Windows app called Windows App, for running Windows apps. Real-time Linux is officially part of the kernel, after decades of debate. Amazon launches AI selling assistant Project Amelia to boost seller growth. iOS 18.1 to enable RCS for iPhone users in China. Disney to stop using Slack, following hack that exposed company data. Tor says it's still safe amid reports of police de-anonymizing users. 2 weeks ago it has been reported as German police raid Tor linked group, in bid to uncover Tor network users. macOS Sequoia update breaks networking for VPN, antivirus software.
Mark Zuckerberg calls Meta the opposite of Apple and questions its product strategy. YouTube confirms it'll show ads when you pause videos. Apple poised to introduce self-developed 5G modem in iPhones by 2025 as iPad to debut